samvidanyo
Rishatvachoshru mumukush tarabyo tarabo yatharya
Rishyatvachoshru mumuchustaravo yatharya
Gopya kimachandaya kushala smadvenu
Gopya kimacharan kushalam kushalam smarenu Damodaradasamaki gopikanam Bhunte swayam yadavasishta rasam ridanyo
Rishyatvachoshrumustaravo yatharyah
Rishyatvachoshrumustaravo yathaya
Gopya kimacharadayam kushalam smavenu
Gopya kimacharadayam kushalam smavenu
Damodaradhara sudham api gopikanam
Damodaradhara api gopikanam
Bhunte swayam mad vishishta rasam radinyo
Bhunte swayam yadavasishta rasam ridanyo
Rishyatvachoshrumustaravo yatharaya
Rishyatvachoshrumustaravo yathaya
Gopya kim acharat ayam kusalam smavenu
Gopya kim acharat ayam kusalam svadenur Damodara sudham api gopikanam Bhunte swayam yadavasishta rasam ridanyo
Rishyatvachoshrumustaravo yathaya
Rishyatvachoshru mumukusaro yadaya
Gopya kim acharat ayam kushalam smavenu
Gopya
Macharat ayam kusalam svadenur Damodaraya sudham api gopikanam
Bhunte swayam et avishta rasam hridinyo
Bhunte swayam yadavasishta rasam ridanyo
Gopyaha. O gopis. Kim. What? Acharat. Performed. Ayam. This. Kushalam. Auspicious activities. Asma. Certainly. Venuhu. The flute. Damodara. O Krishna. Adara Sudam. The nectar of the lips. Api. Even. Gopikanam. Which is owed to the gopis. Bhunte. Enjoys. Swayam. Independently. Yat. From which. Avashishta. Remaining. Rasam. The taste only. Radinyaha. The rivers. Rishyat. Feeling jubilant. Tvachaha. Whose bodies. Ashru. Tears. Muchahu. Shed. Taravaha. The trees. Yatha. Exactly like. Arya. Old forefathers. Translation. We're going to read this together. My dear gopis, what auspicious activities must the flute have performed to enjoy the nectar of Krishna's lips independently and leave only a taste for us gopis, for whom that nectar is actually meant? The forefathers of the flute, the bamboo trees, shed tears of pleasure. His mother, the river, on whose bank the bamboo was born, feels jubilation. Therefore, her blooming lotus flowers are standing like hair on her body, Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's devotees, actually. This translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Charitamrita Anjalila 16:140, in the guise of releasing flowing Give me an S, 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 A, 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 P, 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 P. What's that spell? Spell, sap, okay. All of that, just for, okay. In the guise of releasing flowing sap, the bamboo trees are actually crying of upon their child become an exalted devotee flute of the SPG, which means Shri. Sanatana Goswami gives an alternative explanation. The trees are crying because they are unhappy and not being able to play with Krishna themselves. May
Defend.
Win.
give me an O, 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 O. Object. Thank you. Who said object? Okay, here you go. Didn't you get the garland yesterday? It was still here from yesterday.
No.
This is a new one? Are you sure? It smells the same. Watch that device. Hey! Yay! Okay. Okay, so Sanatana Goswami gives an alternative explanation. The trees are crying because they are unhappy and not being able to play with Krishna themselves. One may object that the trees in Vrindavan should not lament for that which is impossible for them to obtain. Just as a beggar certainly doesn't lament because he is forbidden to meet the king. But the trees are actually just like intelligent persons who suffer when they cannot obtain the goal of life. Thus the trees are crying. Thus the trees are crying because they cannot get the nectar of Krishna's lips. And Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Varavani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Bhaskati Vesatarini. Hare Krishna. So, it's your karma. Okay, so we're just looking here at a few things that are important. Trees, particularly bamboo trees, and how things that are related to the trees are responding, okay? So the tree has, the bamboo tree has parents, and the bamboo tree itself has been utilized as a flute, an instrument of God. Let's get one thing straight. It was the philosopher Nietzsche who said that, like, if there's going to be a God, he has to dance. He has to dance. He was an existentialist, quite an atheist, but he said a few interesting things. Now, God dances, and God also plays a musical instrument known as the bamboo flute. If you study the Nectar of Devotion, there are different kinds of flutes that Krishna has played. Have you ever met those musicians who come with a bag and they play this flute for a bit, and then they put it down, they take another one. They know them all. And there's, first of all, we have to consider that the bamboo tree that was used as Krishna's flute is very fortunate. And the parents of that flute, that bamboo tree, are making a remark. They're making an observation, The response, according to one of the acharyas here, is, why him? A little bit of jealousy right there. why does our son get to be at the lips of the Lord and not us? You know? So that's one response. Maybe there's a little jealousy there. Another response is the parents are very proud of their son, who is, getting this incredible benefit. And, nothing more benevolent has ever been known, as to be close to the lips of God. We understand Radharani and some other very special people get access to the lips of Krishna, isn't it? But outside of that, it's very hard to find somebody who fits into that department. So when Prabhupada gives the explanation in the Krishna book, he also talks about how the parents of the bamboo stick are feeling that what kind of piety, what kind of good things did this soul do in his previous life to get the blessing of being at the Lord's lips. This is the way it's put here. We get an alternative explanation and by Sanatana Goswami, and he's saying that there's maybe some level of jealousy. Krishna gets to play the flute, and the deer are kind of enjoying. They're enjoying hearing the flute. There's a little jealousy even by some of the gopis. How is it that Krishna can get so close to the deer, for instance? And everybody knows the famous picture of Gopal Krishna, where Krishna's like this. There's a deer, there's a calf, and I think there's a peacock. If somebody could find that, that'd really be cool. That'd be nice. We had one of those original paintings that unfortunately got stolen here. Someone stole it, took it off the wall. It was gone forever. It was beautiful. It used to be in our 187 Gerrard Street location, and then it moved over here. And yeah, this one. I used to meditate on this when I first met devotees. I go into a quiet room of the college, and I just chant Om or Hare Krishna, one of the two, of this image of Krishna. Beautiful, isn't it? I'd say the one that was stolen was nicer than that. Sorry, artist. Okay, beautiful. Very obvious that Krishna is enjoying the company of his friends, the deer, the cow, and the back. And I'm sure there's a lot more going on there. So we have to think along those lines a little bit. Thinking karmically. What kind of good karma was there in the life of our child that it gets this incredible benefit? And so we're talking about, karmic, like reaction. Karma means action or response to an action. Somebody asked, can you tell me a little bit? Somebody asked me, what's the secret behind acting? And my answer was, acting means reacting. Right? People are always responding. If somebody punches you in the face, the person who did the punch will get a reaction. Maybe a fist in his nose or what. There's going to be some response. Or even not responding, but, oh, I had it coming to me. That's also a response. Isn't it? Everything is absolutely a response. Just like when we mentioned that some of you are going, that's a response, And so everything we do, there's a response. For everything that we do, any little gesture, there's going to be some reaction, good or bad. I just saw Prem here, he's batting his eyelashes here. So you know what you're doing? You're killing a few microbes by doing that. Now he raised his eyebrows, and there's a reaction to that. You're killing all other living entities like that who are comfortable here. Now you're going like this. So we might get a little bit oversensitive about this thing. I guess I shouldn't do anything. But even doing nothing is something. and we want to be careful. Where we step, we might be stepping on a living entity. I almost stepped on the little mouse that was there at the Mangalarti time. There was a little mouse, and he was offering obeisances permanently. And I almost stepped on it, so I was reacting. Oh my God! So inherent reaction, that's how Satyaraj explains karma. Everybody knows Satyaraj, Stephen Rose, who writes a lot of books for the Back to Godhead magazine. He's a good friend of mine from New York. And he gives that definition. He says, karma is the reaction. It's action. Basically, there's action and the inherent reaction. There's like 5 words there. Action and the inherent reaction. Inherent. You inherit something because it's related to your action. So you get some response comes. Now, when Arjuna asked Krishna about karma, Krishna gives another definition which you're going to find very interesting. Karma is, maybe somebody could look it up, action pertaining to the development of a new body. Okay? Karma, you can look it up in the Bhagavad Gita. Action pertaining to the development of a new body. Because what you do now is going to determine what kind of a body you get in your next life. I just gave a class to the Ottawa devotees, that's why I kind of skipped town for a little bit and didn't go on the walk with you. But the verse was about karmic reaction. And I remember listening to a lecture tape. We called it lectures in those days too, like we do now. And it was by Achyutananda Swami. And Achyutananda Swami is still around. He's Achyutananda, not the Swami right now. But last time I went to Florida, we had a meal together. He was very witty, he was very smart, and he translated, he learned all the bhajans according to the tradition. Nobody else has matched it. So if you want to get a recording of the traditional way to sing these melodies, the bhajans and so on like that, check it out, Achyutananda Swami. You know, if you look and see what he's done. Because he learned from the Gaudiya devotees how to do it. Whereas Prabhupada couldn't do everything. So he went and learned from some of these persons. Anyways, he was giving a talk, a Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class, and he was talking about a man in a train gets hit by the train. He falls to the side and people come out. The train stops. People come out. And they're very concerned, about him. He still had a few last breaths left. And they asked him, "But is there anything we can do for you? Looks like you're going. What can we do to help you to make it more comfortable?" This is what everyone's saying. And then he said, "I just want one last thing." What's that? "I want a biddy. I want a cigarette." That's what was important to him. I want a cigarette. So who knows? The reaction could be that he might take birth as a tobacco plant. So acting means reacting. So the bamboo flute is being referred to here as somebody got a reaction as a result of pious deeds, punya, if not bhakti. You can check it out. I think it's chapter 11. How does it go? Punya Shravan Kirtan, Aridyantasya Yabhadaran, Vidunati Suritsata. Krishna's talking about the reactions to actions. And as a result of pious deeds. Can somebody find that verse? I'm dying to know. Yesham, don't get them papam. Punya Shravana Kirtana, Ridyantasto Yabhadaran. No, that's from Bhagavad Gita. Yesham Tontagatam Papam Janana. Yesham Punya Shravana Kirtana. Yeah, Yesham. What is it? How to start? Can somebody look it up? Is somebody fast with these things? Yesham Tontagatam Papam. Papa means sin, right?
728.
728. Can we pull it out? Can we look it up? It's a good verse, Prabhus. It's a really good verse to speak from when you're talking to someone. Okay? Yesham Tontagatam Papam. Say it. Jananam Punya Karma Te Dvanta Moha Nirmukta Janti Vrida Vrita. Translation. Together. Persons who have acted piously in previous life, and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are free from the dualities of delusion, and engage themselves in my service with determination. Okay, Krishna's talking about the law of action and reaction, right? He's talking about people who have actually engaged in punya, which is pious deeds. Pious deeds may not be bhakti deeds, but they're pious deeds nevertheless. They're actions in the mode of goodness. It leads to something. So in previous life, who do now in previous lives, and in this life, right? So this is you're mounting good karma, because what you're doing now and what you did in the past. And whose sinful papam, that word was there, papam, sin, is eradicated. It's destroyed. Okay? And such persons, they have the great reward of getting close to Krishna. And with determination, drida vrata. Keep those words at drida, doing things with determination. Bhakti with determination. You can't get a better deal than that. Bhakti with determination. Bhakti that is a little casual. Bhakti that's done with a grudge. Oh, really? Do I have to get up and chant 16 words? That kind of mentality. You might win another life, get another body where you can serve, but it might not be so advanced, because you're missing one main ingredient, and that is determination. You have to be very, very determined. Yeah? And there's beautiful stories about determination. The sparrow. Does anybody remember the sparrow? Sparrow had her legs taken by the ocean wave, and she got all upset, like birds do. Like mothers get upset when their kids are being, they get really, really upset. They'll fight to the finish. They'll fight to get their babies back. So this was the case. She took on the ocean, and she said, I'm going to dry you up. And the ocean goes, really? Give me a break. That's his mentality, right? And so she starts picking away at the water. Whatever, and then Garuda happened to be flying around. And he was soaring around, so what's going on down there, The ocean is laughing and she's picking away. So there's some circus going on or something like that. So he comes down for a landing, and everybody knows Garuda is a big bird, very strong. He's got a big wingspan. And he said, what's wrong, sister bird? She said, the ocean has taken my eggs and I demand to have them back. Okay, so then the great bird himself, carrier of Vishnu, looks at the ocean. You bring back those eggs, or I'll dry you up. Okay? The ocean goes, oops. Good. Gave back the eggs, and Mama Bird was happy. And why? All because she was very determined. So we're all going to be successful in Krishna consciousness, but we have to be determined. You can't just come up with a complacent answer and say, I've had 7 years of prasadam. So after 7 years, you get a new body, according to science. So I've got a prasadam body now. Okay. And, I've been chanting Hare Krishna for 40 years, and so I have earned my post in Krishna Loka. Okay, maybe. So it depends on your mentality. Maybe you're not really ready. Maybe your mindset isn't just there yet. You haven't reached that level of purity. So whatever you're thinking may go. I mean, I heard, this goes back 7 years ago, some priest was saying, Elvis Presley has gone to heaven. Okay? Well, how do you know? How can you say that? I mean, I didn't challenge him, but in my mind, I was challenging such, how do you know? Because he was cheating on his wife, so I don't think that gets anybody to heaven. Am I right about that? But what's kind of nice about our culture and our philosophy is you're given a chance. Take a chance, take a chance. Why don't you take a chance? Song from the 50s, okay? You know, I always have to throw some pop culture things out there. Okay, so, you know, the way that the theology of Christianity is presented, and mostly by the Middle Eastern religions, what some people call the desert religions, they have that idea. It's either up or down. Because they have a mentality of black and white. I think I told you this after I finished my walk in the Netherlands. Oh, my cousins came to see, we had a family reunion. And I explained to them, you know, my position with Krishna. Said, I never left, because they thought I left Jesus. I never left Jesus. He's still with me. He was walking with me. Okay? But I added Krishna. I had two people walking with me. and you see, because their mentality is black and white. It's either this or that. But like you look at chapter 16 from Bhagavad Gita, it's this or that. Black and white. Divine, demonic, isn't it? But then there's also another thing that you have to look at in terms of our philosophy that must be given some consideration. And that is there are three gunas. So when you talk about three gunas, you are talking about going from piety to non-piety. You know? By the way, the English word is, you're pious, but the English word is impious. Can you imagine that? Impious, that's what you're supposed to say. I don't think I'd ever get a Canadian person say, you're an impious person. It's but impious is not supposed to work. Okay, so you've got sort of like a rainbow idea. You got three channels now, three energies. From Sattvagun, which is thoughtfulness. Really, I think it's a better word than goodness, really, because goodness is kind of generic. But thoughtfulness is really when you're really sensitive, you know. Thoughtfulness way over to darkness or ignorance. There's shades, different shades of gray. It's not black and white. So most people's experience is, like if you want to adapt that, like everybody's listening to the Islamic mentality, definitely it's black and white. Very much so, you know. But we're not trained to think like that. You know, it's not black and white. Sometimes in the beginning, to convince yourself, I have to be very good, I have to be very pure. So you look at chapter 16, I want those 26 qualities, you know. But after a while you realize, you know, those 26 qualities are a little hard to come by. Maybe I should look at the three modes of material nature instead of the two. Maybe three is better. Three is auspicious, wouldn't you say? Three? Three manifestations of Vishnu. You know, beautiful things coming in three. When we offer different articles on the plates, we always were trained, you know, the pujaris, that it's three of something or five of something. It's not four, it's not an even number. And when someone gives you a donation, it's 101, not 100. It's like an odd number. So the even number doesn't work. Let's put it that way. It doesn't work, even though there's Radha and Krishna, but we won't make that comparison. But it's the three that kind of works. That's reality, three. You know, different shades of gray we're talking about. Yeah, maybe you're a little shady, maybe you're good. There's something good about you, and there's something bad about you as well. You know, it's a mix. It's like a trail mix. How many people have walked through the forest? Yeah. What's the obvious food that you have to take with you? Trail mix, right? Well, don't bring pears. Don't bring mangoes, or coconuts. I'm Vedic, so I have to carry coconuts. You know, what's really going to fill your belly? Because you might find some blueberries out there. depends on the season. But you get your trail mix. Life is like a bag of trail mix. Because it gives you the nourishment you need and all that like that. And that's what the world is really all about. It's really kind of a mix of things. I mean, can anybody in this room say, I'm a pure devotee, I'm almost there. I'm almost a pure devotee. How many people can say that? Let's see your erroneous arm. Let's see. Anybody? How many people have still a long way to go on the path?
2 hands up.
Well, 2 hands, right leg, left leg. You're doing it. Exercise done. Yeah. So I think devotees have to be looking like that. You can't just say, because somebody believes in another religion, that they're bad, they're going to hell. When I grew up in our town of 4,000 people, well, that was 3,500. There was an Anglican church and a Catholic church. I went to the Catholic church, and people would say, oh, don't go to that Anglican church. I said, but the bricks are the same. The bricks are the same. And I actually had a girlfriend who was coming from the Anglican church. And we thought, well, we can still be friends, even though we might believe in something a little different from each other. So, it's like that. You can't be just black and white. It's a very, very dangerous path to tread. Very dangerous. So we want to be careful. And but it's okay to analyze. What did I do? I'll ask you this question as well. This is a fun question. Have you ever wondered what you did before in this life to get you to where you are now? Have you ever wondered? It's natural. Okay. And also, equally, have you ever wondered where you're going to be in the next life? Have you ever wondered that? How many people think they're going to be a gopi in the next life? How about a peacock in Vrindavan? How about a blade of grass? Oh, what was that? Being a blade of grass is not a bad position after all. Because, you get trampled on by the Lord's lotus feet, Yeah. So this is something that people sometimes consider. Everybody knows Professor O'Connell. He's very much quoted these days. He asked Prabhupada, is there, in this very building, are there female gurus in our tradition? He said, yes. Prabhupada said, yes. So once I was at one of the colleges there, was it Trinity? I forget. It was at the Catholic branch of the church. His name's O'Connell. That means you're Catholic. You're Irish means you're Catholic. Just like if you're Filipino, that means you're Catholic. So I went to see him at his office. So what's going on these days at the temple of Bhaktimarga? And I said, well, there's some things are doing okay, but in our movement, we've got some people who are considering what they were or what they will be in the future lives. And he just thought, because he studied Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and we thought that was a little bit odd. We thought it was very odd that devotees are thinking about what they're going to be. Better to be what you are now. To pay attention to the here and the now, being in the present. Haribol, who's making all the noise? Okay, Tamagun. Mr. Tom Ogun, come here. Show yourself. Okay, I think it's that kitchen door. Okay, so anyways, it's natural to be thinking about these things. Like devotees had a speculation that Prabhupada was a doctor in his previous life or something like that. And they were thinking about what he is now. Don't tread that. Don't go there. That's my recommendation. And most people would like to think, I was Elvis, or I was Michael Jackson in my previous. You want to think I was Henry VIII, or somebody in history, Napoleon Bonaparte. you know. But maybe you were nothing. Maybe you were Mr. Nobody. But we want to think, wishful thinking, really. We don't need to waste time thinking about those things. It's not necessary. But you can maybe get some hints. What you are now, where you have certain tastes, you gravitate to certain things, which may be an indicator of what you were involved in the previous life. Could be the case. But don't go there. Don't get too caught up in those. What you are is what you have to work with. Whatever you are, that's it. Work with the talents that have been given to you by Almighty SPG, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and just carry on. Carry on. Good. So anyways, we're at that point where I have to give you some time some wiggle room. So start to wiggle. Anybody interested in making some remarks? Wiggle. Questions or comments, or if you like something, say. I liked when Prabhupada says in the purport, or the devotees here of his disciple, when they say blah, 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 and can you comment on that or something like that? Or just say, I like what this, that. Repeat something that's worth repeating. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for the class. I like the verse Bhagavad Gita 8.3 when you quoted action pertaining to development of material bodies of the living entity is called karma. Like
Right.
different way to determine karma.
Right.
Whatever we do, it will affect our upcoming life.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Interesting verse.
It kind of, you're already molding your new body now by what you do and what you plan and what you're thinking about. You're already working on it, Bruce. So that might sound scary. It might sound kind of exciting, but right now what you're doing is the blueprint for the future body. Yes.
Maharaj, I like the point that till now, like whenever the sattva means we always think about goodness, but
Yeah.
so it's a generic term. Goodness is common a lot of subdivisions, but thoughtfulness is something really we need to put consciously effort
Yes.
to be a sattva guna. So
Right.
that is one thing that very touched my heart. And
Wow.
one more thing, we will be successful in Krishna conscious, but we have to be determined.
Yes, determination is a very important factor. Yeah, that's right. Don't just ride on the coattails of the guru. You've got to make your effort. Like some people say, our Christian friends that say, just accept Jesus in your heart and everything will be okay. Well, wait a minute. You have to make an effort. Don't let Jesus do all the hard work. Why should he, give off his blood, sweat, and tears and you're not doing anything? Your life has to improve. How many cows have you eaten lately? Really, that's talking about goodness. In some traditions, they don't really pass by a certain definition of, we're going to use the word thoughtfulness. It's not very thoughtful to eat animals. Not thoughtful at all. Okay, so Ish.
Maharaj, I like the definition of karma that you mentioned, the action and inherent reaction.
Inherent reaction.
Because often people blame karma for everything, and then they have a bad word for karma. Karma is bad. But then they don't realize that it's an inherent
It's
reaction.
related. Yeah, it's related. Sometimes you hear people say karma means action and equal and opposite reaction. They talk like that. But inherent makes reference to what you've done before. I think it's really brilliant that you use that term.
I'll answer the question.
Oh, yeah, another question. Well, we have,
After.
yeah, okay. You and you and you.
So Maharaj, you mentioned determination is needed. For different people, according to their different standards, determination might be having some different definition. For some it might be more reading, for some it might be more chanting. So ideally what should be the normal name?
Well, determination is just defined as being very focused, having a lot of conviction. And how to get that conviction can come from reading or chanting or this or that. But there is a difference. I would beg to differ. Determination means just going, forging ahead, marching forward, being that determined. Yeah, just being very focused, not giving up. Think of that bird, think of the bird, the sparrow. Okay, go ahead.
Maharaj, you mentioned about having all shades within us, like with all the three qualities. It's like a spectrum, not black and white. So what to do when, let's say you see some dark shades in yourself, but you're also able to recognize that this is dark. So that understanding is also coming from a better place, like a good place.
Right.
So you're not sure whether you're good or bad. Or if you're both, how do you deal with this contradiction and how do you get past those dark shades?
I think that's why it's good to look at chapter 16, so you can see what really pure goodness is all about. 26 traits are there, and then there's 6 traits to describe what is tamasic or very dark. So at least you know where to go with it. You know what to target. What's your goal here? So chapter 16 definitely has its place. But when we analyze ourselves, if we can get, let's say, introspective, say, yeah, I have some of this and I have some of that, and sometimes your guru will tell you, or your wife or your husband will say, yeah, you're not who you think you are. Somebody might have to tell you. So that's how you can get by with a little help from your friends, with that kind of help. But anyways, no need to feel hopeless about the whole case. Because Krishna states in the Gita, many, many people have become purified by knowledge of me. Vita raga bhaya krodha. Can somebody look that one up? Vita raga bhaya krodha. I think it's right there. Many people have become purified in the past by knowledge of me, Krishna is saying. So the more you immerse yourself in Krishna and service to Krishna, the more there's hope that is implanted. Did you find it?
Chapter 4.
He's putting it up there.
4.
10.
10. Can you read it?
Oh, that's Pitta raga bhaya krodha manmaya mam pashyata bhavo jnana tapasa utamad bhavam agata. That means, the translation is, being free from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many, many persons in the past became purified by the knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me.
Good. So it's pretty clear. The more you become wise about Krishna and the way he operates and everything about him, the more you have a chance to get purified. Better to, concentrate on him than who else have you got? There's not much. You can pick and choose some of the different avatars, but Krishna's character is deep. So, you're on the right path. There's some hope here. Even though there's some, it's okay to, when you chant Hare Krishna, you do japa, I say, gee, there's a lot of junk inside of me. Isn't it? That's one good thing about it. That's the first time you cleaned yourself. With japa, you realize that there's a lot of stuff stuck in there, Yeah, it's like a lot of people, their intestines full of so much nonsense, crap. The processed food and oils and everything, So we got to do a cleanse. You have to do a cleanse, but know that, there's a chance for me. I just got to get clean. And then so you follow the procedures for how to get clean. One of the procedures is to follow 9 processes, what Prahlad Maharaj was telling us. Get absorbed in those things. Outside of the 9 processes, there isn't much else going on, except for playing with a ball in the water. and bonding. Anything else? Yes.
Maharaj, you said that, so this is a reflection, not a question. You said that don't just leave things on your guru and put in the efforts. So I was just reflecting that even in the bonds that we share with each other, when we talk about friendships or when we partner in the future, we say that effort is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you put in the efforts, it shows that you're sincere
Mm-hmm.
to build that bond with the person. So I
Mhm.
feel like this is so true that like it's not that now Guru has accepted you that everything is done. You need
Mhm.
to like give back or like put in the efforts to
Yeah.
connect and reach back.
That's the strongest message that comes out of the Bhagavad Gita. So, hey Arjuna, don't relax now. This is not the time to get the lawn chair out and put on your sunglasses. This is the time to start working hard. This is the real time to put in the efforts. Yeah, that's right. Don't expect everyone else to do it for you. But, as the saying goes, you've heard it all before, God helps those who help themselves. If you don't help yourself, why should he help you? Why should he care if you don't care about yourself? So let's always make that effort. Okay? Great questions. Oh yes, Mataji.
It's just a reflection of which I was thinking about the flute and the peacock feather. The flute is just a bamboo stick, and also the peacock feather. They are very insignificant entities, but when Krishna accepts them, their existence becomes significant.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, we are very insignificant, and when Krishna accepts our service, our existence becomes significant.
Mm-hmm.
So Krishna makes us significant by engaging us or accepting our service.
Mm-hmm. Truly. I mean, everyone's significant because we all come from him. But it's a question of more significant. Once you ride on the beautiful chariot of Bhakti Yoga, once you make that effort and service, then you become very significant. Therefore, we have that term Mahatma. What is a Mahatma? Someone who's quite determined. Chapter 9. Mahatmanastu mam parita daivi prakriti masha vajanamanasa gyatva bhutari avya. So you can look at that last one, 9. 9, what is it? 9, 13. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Chai. Well, please accept my humble obeisances. And I am a room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20 people. They all offer obeisances to you and to South Africa. How does that make you feel? I'm just finishing the class, wrapping up. So in 5 minutes, would that be okay? Thank you. Haribol. Okay. Now, where was I? And why? And why? Because he cannot help himself. Okay, a line for the age of coming. All right. So where were we? Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Give us the translation. Those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of God, original and inexhaustible. And the verse that's prior to that, what is it? Satatam kirtayam tamam yachantascha drida vrita, the determination. Those who are determined in glorifying Krishna, they are considered Mahatmas. So we're all Atmas, but you become a Mahatma when you're engaged in devotional service. That doesn't give you a license, thanks to Seymour. That doesn't give you a license to say, I'm better. Let's do it again. Translation. Understanding my glories, with every determination. Bow down before me. These great souls that's the description, the definition of what is a Mahatma. This one and the next verse. Study them, memorize them, become it. Haribol. All right. Vanchakalpa Kripa Sindhu